Okay. So in yesterday's class, we discussed about like compiler type of Java projects, what is XML, how to write it and all. And then we looked into one of the pom.xml for a project, how it looks like this, right? So what is this project here? What is this project?
Root element.
Root element. Okay. So if you are writing a pom.xml for a Maven project, the root element should be always project. You cannot write your name. And how it knows that these are the elements I have to use. If I use ABCD, it is not valid. How can it identify? Based on this XSD, whatever, or schema, XSD, whatever we have defined here. Next. So in a pom.xml, wherever we are writing, four elements are very much important. So one is group ID. What the group ID indicates? What the group ID?
Department.
So this C here, you observe here, yesterday I said, right, group ID is an element and the value for that group
Department.
ID is this one, com.mydept. So this is the value. Okay. Now, so department name we have to write it here. Artifact ID means
Project name.
project name. Version means
Version.
project version, right? So if a version has release, what does this mean?
It is
It's ready
to
to
deploy.
deployment.
Project is ready for
Production. It is in
not
production.
deployment. Okay, you can deploy in QA dev also. So this is ready for production or else already in production. So packaging indicates
Extension of the file.
huh?
Extension of the file. Jar, var, and
What we have to convert our project to, either jar or var or er. Okay, jar. Okay, these name and all for displaying purpose, we'll see that later. Next we'll see dependencies are there. Dependencies. So what we write under dependencies? There is one element called as dependencies. Under that we'll write many dependencies. So I said, right, every project, maybe most of the Java projects are like one Java project is depending on external jars. The core Java core things is not enough. It is depending on something else. So what they did, someone else, right? They converted their Java project into a jar file and kept somewhere. Now this Java project is dependent on that jar. So what we have to do? We have to give the details of that jar here so that it will automatically download that. Understood?
Yes.
So now why we are defining here is when we are converting this Java project, right? We have a Java project. Inside that Java project, we are creating a pom.xml. Why we are creating the pom.xml means we want to use a Maven to convert the Java project into artifact. So now while converting, it will convert using these details. It will convert using these details. Okay, we'll see that later also. So now dependencies, what we write inside the dependencies, the external dependencies, whatever our project is dependent on, those details we'll write it here. Understood? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Next, let me discuss about something called as properties. Okay, dot properties file I'll discuss. This is one more basic. I'm discussing everything bits and pieces. Everything I'll combine so you'll get a full clarity. Okay. So now I want to explain. This is very important, guys. This is for important for interviews, real time, everything. Okay, you remember this is too much important. See, this is my GitHub repository. I have a development branch, QA branch, pre-prod branch, main or master branch. Okay, 4 branches. I'm not writing the names. You just understand dev, QA, pre-prod, main or master production branch. Okay, I have one Linux server. Okay. I have one Linux server. Here I have one more Linux server. Let me take some space. Here one more Linux server. Here one Linux server. Here one Linux server. Okay, 4 Linux server for each environment. This is my dev environment. This is my QA environment. This is my pre-production. This is my pre-production. This is final one is my production environment. Here I have one Tomcat. Here I have my Tomcat. Tomcat. Let me take smart. Okay. Here also I have Tomcat. Here also I have Tomcat. You will also have Tomcat. Now, this code I'll take maybe using Maven. Okay, just somewhere here itself. I'm converting that into artifact. Okay, I'm taking that code, converting into artifact and deploying it here. Here also I'm taking it, converting and deploying it. Here also I'm taking the source code from this branch, convert it into artifact and deploy. Like this, I'm deploying everywhere. Yes or no? So like this, we will have different Linux servers. On each Linux servers, we will have one Tomcat application server. So we'll take this code from this branch, convert into jar or var artifact, and then deploy it. Take this, convert, deploy it, convert here. So whenever developers commits a code, we'll take that, deploy it here. When that is done, we'll move it to QA, merge it to QA, we'll deploy it here. Then when that is done, it will merge here, we'll deploy it here. When this is done, we'll merge it here and deploy it here. Like this, we'll deploy. Yes or no? Is it clear? Okay, fine. Next, what we do is each and every environment should have separate databases also. If your Java code is connecting, if your Java project needs a database, so you'll have a separate database for each environment. Why? Because, for example, Flipkart application I deployed in my dev server, it is connecting with the dev database. Now, here in the dev database, dummy data I kept for my testing purpose. As a developer, dummy data I kept it here. Now, when I merge the code from here to here, when I deploy it here, it should not connect to the same database, because testers want a separate database and they will insert separate data and test it. Okay, testing is done. Okay, separate database they have taken. Next, when we merge here, this will deploy and will connect to a separate database. Here, all the dummy data is there, testing data on each database. If I point my production application to this Flipkart, instead of showing actual user data, it will show the dummy data, right? It is not fair. So it is not correct. So we'll use a separate for each database. Sorry, for each environment, we'll use a separate database. Understood, guys? So we'll install one. If our application is depending on a database, we'll install separate databases on each environment and we'll connect to that. Our application will be connecting to that particular database. Don't think like all application, wherever it is deployed, it will connect to single database. No, it's not like that. For each environment, we'll have a separate database. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. If you have any questions, you ask me, guys. This is too much important. Okay. It's a real-time scenario. Next, when I deploy this application here, right, my Java application, it has to connect to the database. Means whenever, for example, one user is accessing, this is a Flipkart application I deployed. Now user is registering his profile. When his register is, it has to store that username password in the database, right?
Yes.
Right. When the user is adding something to cart, it has to store that cart details into the database. Yes or no? When he purchased something for order tracking history, everything it has to store in the database. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. Now, when my Java code has to, or else my Java application has to connect to the database, okay, then the database will have some username and password, port number, IP address, something like that. For example, just think username and password. So when my Java application has to connect with this database, it needs one username and password. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, it needs some username and password. So where that username password will be there? Inside my Java code itself. Here itself, I placed that in this branch Java code. I placed, means in my Java code itself, I placed one username and password. So using that username and password, it will connect to this. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now dev is done. I moved the same code to dev database. So this database has username, IP address, password, DB name, like that, right? IP address, username, password, DB name. It connects to that. When I merge the code from here, the same username, password, DB name, port number, everything will come here, right?
Yes.
When I deploy it here, will it connect to this database or this database? First,
Yes.
dev database or QA database?
First one.
Yeah, dev database. Why? Because while moving here,
The accessing are same.
yeah, here the details of whatever I have related to the database is for this database. This database has IP address, port number, what is this username, password, everything it connects to this. But for this, it has a different IP address, different port name, maybe port number might be same or different. It has username different, password different, IP address is different, right?
Yes.
Now I want to make this application to connect to this database. What should I do?
Create a new
Mention in the what do you call that? Initially, while before transferring into the server itself, we have to modify the code.
Server means here while merging the changes, I have to modify the change.
Modify that.
But that is not a good practice. Means that is not a proper tested code. Means, for example, okay, I'll do here, but when I'm merging into production, I should not touch the code also. Why? Because if you are whatever it is tested, if you modify that and deploy into production, means it is not properly tested. Means you should not modify as it is. You have to deploy. But
Okay.
I should not modify. Then what should I do? Is
Keep in sync with databases. You should keep sync between databases.
so this no that is
No, that is a that will
Instead of-
not be. All
instead of-
data will be
Huh.
merged.
Instead of that, it is better to connect to one database only.
One
Instead of
database.
using separate database, we can connect to one single database.
One data. Yes, yes.
Instead of using different database for each environment. So what I'll do is, I will create some folders like this: dev, QA. Okay, there is no space, so I'll take only dev and QA. You want, if you want, I can take. So here I'll write one property file name, application.properties. I'll write. Okay, application.properties, QA, application dot. This is a folder. This is a folder.
Yeah.
This is a folder. Inside that, I'm writing application.properties file name. So same like this, I'll write pre-prod. Okay. Inside that also, I'll keep the same name. File name is same. Application.properties same. Next, again, main or master branch or production, right? Prod something. Here also I'll place application.properties. For each environment, I'm going to create a folder and place this. Place same file. Okay. Now what I'll do inside that file, application.property file, right? Now whatever I have here like this, right? Sorry. Whatever I have here, dev folder, right? This is a folder. Inside this, I'm writing. So what is this property file? It can be any name. It doesn't need to be always application.properties. It can be any name, your name.properties also, but we write in general application.properties, some other property file name. So what is this property file contains is key value pairs. Same like this. Variable value, we know, right? A equal to B, something like that, right? So DB name equal to dev DB, dev database. Next, password equal to 123. IP equal to IP or host name, database name, host name equal to, right? Or something like n.3.2.1, something. Right? Port equal to 3247, something like this. I'll write these details inside this property file. I'll write these details inside this property file. Okay. Next, I'll create one more folder, right? I'll create QA folder. So in this, what I'll do is I'll create same application.properties file. So this application.properties, you try to understand dot properties. It has extension called as dot properties. What it can have? Key values. Here it is a key. It is a value. Key equal to value. Key, its value is this. Means it is a variable. Its value. We can consider like variable value, but we call it as key equal to value. This is a key. Its value is this. It is a key. Its value is this. Right. So now I have dev folder. Inside that application.properties is there. I have QA folder. Inside that application.properties is there. But what I do is
Just change the IP addresses and passwords.
Exactly. I'll keep the keys as same. Okay, let's I'll keep the keys as same. QA database password 456, something like this. So now tell me, in each folder, the property file name is same or not?
Yes.
The keys in the property file name is same or not?
Yes.
Yes.
But the values of the property keys is same or not? Different.
Different.
Now, see, the property file is nothing but it's a normal file which can store the values in key value pair. Now, what I did, I created a separate folders. I created a same file name, right? Inside that file, same keys, but values are different. So for dev, I'll create like this. QA for pre-prod production, I'll create separate folders. Inside each folder, I'll create same file name, same keys, but values will be different. Now, what I'll do is inside my Java code, instead of using the DB details directly, instead of hard coding these details in my Java code, what I'll try to tell is inside my Java code, the developers will try to handle to read the values from a property file. Instead of writing the details directly in the Java code, they try to read the details from a property file. Means this application.properties, they'll in the code they'll tell DB name equal to value, get it from application.properties, this one. DB password equal to, get it from application.properties, password equal to this one. From this key you get the value, right? That like that they'll write. So as they are reading that values from application.property file keys, when I deploy it in my dev environment, I'll take this application.properties. I'll ignore all three. So do I need to change my Java code here?
Not necessary.
No. Why? Because the Java code is reading the keys, right?
With respect to the branch.
Yeah, yes, application.properties. This is not branch name. Just I named it as a folder name. It's a folder. Okay. It doesn't need to be with the equal to the same as the, or else like same as a branch name. We can take it as an environment name. I took it. Now, when I merge the changes from here to here, do I need to modify my Java code?
No.
No. What I'll do is, I'll try to read only this. I'll ignore all these using some Maven. Maven has one functionality. So using that, I'll ignore all three. I'll give this application.properties here. So whatever it is, whether this application.properties, this or this or this, file name is same, keys are same. So that I hard coded. I want to read the database name from application.properties, and the key name is this one. I want to read the database password from application.properties. Inside the key name is this. I like that I did this here. So now when I deploy it in QA, I'll give this property file. When I deploy it in pre-production, I'll give this. When I deploy in production, I'll give this application.properties. So now in this case, do I need to change my properties? Do I need to change my Java code? No. When I deploy in a different environment, do I need to change my Java code?
No.
Only he's there in the class, or others also there?
Not needed.
Okay. So like this we handle. And okay, do you remember this? Okay, what is application.properties? Application.properties is a property file which has the dot extension dot properties, which has the extension as dot properties, and which can store the values in key value pair. Which can store the values in key, which can have the data in key equal to value pair. Understood, guys? Now we are utilizing that application.properties in Maven at one of the concepts. So I just want to explain that. So is it clear for you guys?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I am not from computer background, sir. Means I'm not understanding these environments and where all these servers will be there and databases.
If you don't remember, watch Git recordings. I clearly explained. I shouted on that day. I clearly remember. If you have one application, I took Flipkart and I explained. If you have one application, if you write some coding, can you directly without testing, can you put it in the server and give it to end users? For example, Flipkart, if they develop that Flipkart application without testing, they can give, after coding that, can they put it in the server and ask us to, all the clients like us users, to use that?
No, no.
No, right? So what they'll do, they'll write the code, they'll deploy it in one of the Linux server. On one of the Linux server, they'll install that application server, database, everything. They'll deploy here. Developers who has written the code, they'll test it. Once they test it, next, the same code will be moved to another branch. From this branch, they'll deploy it in some other QA server where our testers will be testing it. If there is a bug, they'll let the developers know through some tools. So developers will fix it. Again, they deploy it here, test it. Once they are sure that that bug is fixed, again, they'll move it to QA server. Again, we'll deploy it here. Testers will test it. Once the testing is done, again, we'll merge the code into some other branch. Again, we'll deploy into some other testing environment, pre-production. Again, one more round of testing will be done here. Once the testing is done, all the bugs are fixed. If we are sure that application is fine, then we'll merge it to main branch or master branch. We'll deploy into production server. Here we will ask the end users to, here we will give the URL to the end users like us to access the application. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So this is dev environment QA like this. You don't need to be 4 environments. You can have 3 environments or 10 environments based on in your office, how you'll have the requirement and all. Okay.
Okay.
But general, we follow this 3 or 4 environments. Understood, guys? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Tejeshwar, you got it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So like this. Now, okay, fine. Is it clear about the property files? Yes or no, guys? So this is the property file, but the same property files we use in one of the concept in Maven that I'll discuss in some time. But you understood, right? What is a property file and all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Next. Okay, next is, okay, I discussed about Maven. Okay, let me discuss about Maven project structure. Okay, see, if you are creating a Java project, are you going to create, means, for example, we are one team, we got a new requirement, like we have to develop one schooling website, school application, or like hospital application, something like one application, like Flipkart application, something we want to develop. Are you going to create we decided like, let's use Maven for this project, right? Let's use this Maven. So the project has to be a Maven style of project. Are you going to develop that? Means, are you going to create that project, or developers are going to create? Developers will create.
No.
They are also not going to create manually. They have tools like Eclipse, MyEclipse, RAD, STS, Spring Tool Suite, like that, NetBeans, like that. There are n number of tools. Using those tools, they'll create. Right click for them. They have a tools, right? On that tool, they'll right click, new project, Maven project. Give the name of the project and few details. Done. Automatically, it will create like this. Automatically, it will create that. They no need to struggle also. Okay. Fine. Now, once they create, it looks like this. It looks like this. These are not the files. These are extra I created for some other purpose. We'll see that later. First, let's see this. So now, when you create a project, right? When we sync it with Git, we'll get this .git. When it is created with Eclipse, it will get .settings. So these are not Maven topics. This is Git topic. So I created this code. Let me show you. In my local, I created a GitHub project, or else I created, in my local, I created a Git project and synced it with GitHub. You know, right? When we create a, not this one. Okay, this is the one of the Java project. Same this one, this project. So I created a repository in my GitHub. With README. I cloned it here and I created that Maven project. I synced it. You know, right? When we create a repository with README file, how to clone it. If it is an empty repository, how to get in, do that git init and all. So like this is my project. This is my GitHub project. So I cloned it here and it has this. So now it has .git folder as it is synced with GitHub. Next, SRC is there. What SRC will contain? I said, right?
Source code.
Source code. Source code means what?
Main and test.
The Java files, the Java
files,
code.
yes.
Yes. Okay. So this SRC contains Java code, Java files, the Java files. Okay, we'll see that later. Next, target contains what? This target is automatically created folder. What this contains is, using Maven, what you are going to do? You are going to create a artifact, right? Yes or no?
Yes,
For your,
we are going to build.
here my source code is there. This is my Java application source code. For this source code, my Maven is going to create an artifact as per my pom.xml. Here I have my pom.xml. In this pom.xml, I said I want a jar or var or year. So based on this, if I have specified here as a var, so my Maven will read all the Java files here, compile them, and using them, it will create a var file. Yes or no?
Yes.
One mute. Okay. Okay, it is going to generate an artifact. Once Maven generate the artifact, where should it place? Somewhere it has to store that artifact, right? In the target directory it will store. So target is a directory where our Maven is going to place the generated artifact. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, web content. Web content. If your project is like a web application, if you have Java code is a backend code and DB code, everything will be present here. Database code, Java code will be present here. Fine. Backend code, database code will be present inside that. That is fine. But you will have some UI files also, right? Flipkart, UI screen, you are able to see red color, green color, buttons, that UI screen is there, right? That screen is written on that UI, that visible thing, UI part, right? User interface part is not written on Java. That might be written in either JavaScript, AngularJS or React.js, Vue.js, like that. Then some for UI, there are different technologies. So they use that. Such files, the JavaScript files, HTML files, CSS files, everything we will place under this web content file. Web content. Okay, I'll discuss about that also. You give me some time. Sorry, not web content. This is web. Okay, sorry. This is web content. Okay. I'll discuss. So web content, we may place that, but there is a different way for Maven. I'll tell that. Web.xml, I have to explain. Okay, let me explain that. Okay, first let me go from this. I'll explain that. So for before that, let me clarify you. If I want to develop one application, web application like Flipkart, I use Java for the backend, which I'll deploy in the server. I have UI files, means UI screen. You are able to see, right? That is not developed on Java. We'll use different technologies like JavaScript, HTML, CSS, AngularJS, Vue.js for those. And database, use a database. We will write some queries. Go on mute. I'll remove you. I don't like this to disturb anyone. Okay. The UI code will have, right, separate technologies. For UI screens we use different. That UI screen will interact with the Java code which is running on the server, right? And again that UI code, that Java backend code will interact with the database using some queries and all, right? So all the code we are writing here. So inside this SRC, Java Web Main project, there is something called as main, right? What this main indicates? Okay, let me show some of
The main code.
Okay, see, this is my one of the Java project. If it is my one of the Java project, if I get into this SRC, I'm seeing main under test. Tell me what main contains, what test contains.
Main contains the code which is developed by
Original.
developers.
Original code, the functionality, the
Test
main
is the
Java
dummy code.
classes. The main Java classes will be present here, right? Next. Go on mute. There is a lot of disturbance. Okay. Next, what this test contains?
Dummy code.
Dummy code.
Whatever we want to test, sir, not the original one.
Not the
Just
original
to
one.
test, to give the different.
Yeah, what is
they
that
give
code
different
is called as?
values.
What is that code called as? Unit testing code.
Test environment code.
The unit testing, not test environment. This will be there in your local. It will be there in dev, QA, production, everywhere it will be there. This is called as unit testing code. That unit testing file. To test this original code, we will write some testing code. That will be the testing file. Java files will be unit testing Java files will be present inside that. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If I get into this SRC, again, you will have, okay, let me show here. It is, so I have main. I don't have test here. So can I have only main without test in a project? Yes, of course. I don't want unit testing. Okay, you can ignore that. But can I have test without main code?
No.
No. Testing is optional. I want you to use unit testing to check my original code. Okay, you can have. But if you don't want to have, okay, you can ignore it. So in this project, I have only main, means only original code, no testing related. I am not using unit testing for this project. Okay, good. I went inside this. There is something called as Java. There is something called as web app. So under main, there is one more folder called as Java. There is one more folder called as web apps. What this Java contains is the Java code, whatever we discussed, that source code, original code, that and all. Web application. Sorry. This contains the Java files. For UI, I said write JavaScript, HTML files, images, those and all we will place inside this web by NF. If it is a Java Maven style of project, under SRC, we'll have main and test. Under main, again, we'll have Java web apps. Under Java, we'll place all the Java files. Under web apps, we'll place all UI related files. UI static files, we'll place it here. Understood, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Next, under Java, we need to have Java files, right? But again, we have this com.kc controller, something like this, right? This is the packages. So here under this Java folder, again, developers will create packages. Means if they have 100 Java files, if they place all 100 Java files here, it will be clumsy. So what they'll do is they'll again divide them groups. The group is called as package in Java. You don't need to worry about that. You just remember till here. So SRC will contain the source code. Under SRC, we'll have main and test. Main and test. Main will have the original Java code, whereas this one, what is this? Test will have testing code. Under main, again, we'll have Java web apps. Java will contain Java code. Web apps will contain UI related files, that UI screen related files, the JavaScript, HTML and all. I'll show one more project. I have SRC here. I'll go to SRC. I have main, test. Main have main code. Test have testing related code. If I get into main, again, I have Java files, right? Java. But here I don't have web apps. What does this mean? It means I don't have UI files. This is only backend code. But I have something called as resources. This is very important. You have to remember. Resources contains property files. I said, right, property files. In Maven projects, Maven first itself I said, right, Maven project, it has a fixed structure. So under Java, under SRC, main code should be there in the main folder. Testing related code should be in the test folder. Under main, again, we have Java folder. All the Java code should be present here. All the property files should be present under resources. If there are any UI files, we have to create one folder called as web apps and place it here. Understood, guys? We go to test again. Test Java is there. So here I don't want UI property files. I don't want UI files. So that's why I don't have resources and web app. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear or not? Java Maven's project structure. Maven project will have SRC. SRC contains source code, means all the source code for my application should be present under SRC only. SRC contains main and test. Main contains main code, test contains testing code. Under main, again, I'll have Java. So main Java code will be present here. UI files will be present under web apps. If there are any property files, those has to be placed under a folder called as resources. Understood, guys? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, let me explain about pom.xml. So this is my Maven project, right? So who created this? Developers using a tool. When they right click and give the name of the project like this, it automatically creates all this structure, web apps, target, SRC, everything it is going to create. So now let me get into web apps and I'll show you here. There is something called as web.xml. This is called as deployment descriptor. This is related to developers and we use this for deployment purpose. I'll talk about this later. Okay. Wherever you see this web.xml, wherever you see this web.xml, it indicates it is a web project. We discussed standalone project, web project, right? So if it is a standalone project, you will not have a web.xml. But if it is a web project, you will see web.xml, web project. You remember like this. So if you see inside any project, if you see web.xml, it means web project, not a standalone project. If you see pom.xml, what does this mean? Maven style of project, means for build and management, we are using Maven. Okay, fine. I think I'm explaining too much. Okay, but anyways, it's good to understand. Whatever you can remember, you remember. It's good for you only. Next, I have a Maven project like this. Let me open this. Meeting is going to end. You rejoin back. I'll discuss about this. Okay, so this is one of the pom.xml for one of my project.